Welcome to the behind-the-scenes video for my film, Fateful Equation. I want to take some time to highlight some of the more exciting parts of the production process and give a look behind the curtain at how this film got made. To begin, the first title card here is what I plan to use as a label for all my future experimental animated works. The title card itself is made out of 12 frames of text painted directly onto watercolor paper with poster paint and left to saturate and dry in chaotic and organic ways. Sketchbooks are very fun, free places of exploration, and that feeling of artistic play is very much what motivates me. In the past, I've tried to make short films and other personal projects, but I always ended up getting bogged down in all the little details that go into planning something professional in air quotes. This sense of frustration is what led me to make Living Sketchbook as a concept. By lifting away the burdens of my industry professional styled expectations and just going ahead and making something because it's fun, like drawing in a sketchbook, helped me to finally bring this project to life. The idea for Fateful Equation came to me late one night as nothing more than the single line of spoken dialogue in the film. If only I'd never solved that formula, but I realized all too late. I began working in mid-February of 2021 and finished the last shot of animation only 2.5 months later in April. The storyboarding progress was done on a single sheet of animation paper in a mostly dried up brush pen in around 15 minutes. I knew that the idea for the whole film would grow and evolve over time, but I aimed to have the film last between 15 to 30 seconds long. I knew that the shorter I could make the film, the more likely it was to get done. Pre-production was organized very quickly using only a single spreadsheet and a handful of study sketches. The main character, the mathematician, was loosely inspired by my longtime friend Curtis Niswander, who also voiced the narration. I did 2 concept images to show what I was thinking, and he quickly got back to me with his lines. I love the surreal and otherworldly beauty of Mandelbrot set fractals, and the image of the character's eye becoming one was such a compelling image to me that I had to include it in the film. The other image I did was an older painting that I had painted a while ago, and then I ran through an image manipulation AI for a spooky effect. More on that later. One thing I knew I wanted for the film were hand-painted backgrounds. I grew up watching a lot of shows that had hand-painted backgrounds as a kid, and I always loved their organic feeling. Real paint behaves in ways that I'm not really able to replicate digitally, and I think these help give the film a really fun and distinctive look. The whole film takes place in one classroom late one night at the University of Toronto. I love the old-world architecture of that university, and I think it gives the film a distinctly Canadian presence. I spent about 14 total hours working on the opening shot painting alone. I did a number of preliminary sketches before I sat down to paint this establishing shot. One of the tricks I use in this film is that the opening shot is very detailed in comparison to the rest of the scenes. Some backgrounds are mostly just gradients with a few objects or furniture in them, and I think I get away with this by having a few clear establishing shots for the audience to understand what kind of room they're in. I made 9 individual background paintings for the film, and each one of them was hand-painted with poster paints on watercolor paper. I did some initial rough layout images on paper for a few scenes, but all the clean and colored character animation was all done digitally. This was particularly helpful when it came to the detail of the mathematician's hand writing the cursed equation up close on the chalkboard. Now, for the scenes of the dimensional fractaling taking place, I wanted to achieve a very unearthly and sinister effect. With the help of the Deep Dreams AI website, I combined my finished animated frames with a Mandelbrot image to create the distorted and corrupted dimensional warping effect that I really wanted to achieve in this film. Making this film was a fantastic experience. I learned so much about how I want to make films, and honestly, my biggest takeaway from this whole project was that everything becomes more achievable the smaller scale you work on. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to making more films in the future.